with us. Ramona is an amazing psychic. We are so happy to have you to the show today of Pass the Glass. First and foremost, though, we're starting off with our wines.
Yes. Hi, I'm Justine Thomas.
And that would be me.
We've all done it.
So go ahead. You got a really nice Chardonnay.
I do. And, Noble Vines, the 446. I don't have my cheaters, but the numbers come from like different lots. And the Noble Vine name comes from like kings and queens had their own Noble Vine stocks. And that's where they would pull it from.
Oh, that's a cool story.
Yeah. So then, and I did write some notes down about how Noble Vines wine is located in Lodi, California. It's family owned. And then there's also in a cool climate of San Bernabé, I believe it's called, Valley.
Places
and it's
I've never been.
Right.
Yeah, it's the southern part of the Salinas Valley in Monterey, California. And Lodi is in the central portion of Central Valley, California.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean it's good. It's a semi-dry Chardonnay. It doesn't have like the oakiness that some do. I think it's just a nice. It's easy on the palate, but it has like a little bit of extra good flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes.
And Shelley.
Us sweet girls are drinking Lindemann's Fruity Moscato.
That's a really good Moscato.
It
I have to
is.
say. It's
It
one
is.
Of one of the nicer ones we've had.
My mom loves it.
It is from Giant Eagle.
Thank you, GE.
Nothing wrong with that. Giant, listen,
The big
I'll go to the
bird.
Shell station if I want wine. I don't care.
The Big Bird is the place to be sometimes.
All right, so on today's show, we have actually a bunch of people. We've got Jeff Carter. Hey, we've got Benita. I love you, baby. And then Mo Ray has joined us so far.
Mo Ray.
Hey, Mo. Today, what we want you guys to do, Ramona is amazing with her cards. She's got her, I don't want to touch your cards and do vibes. But if you have a question to ask Ramona, she will help you out with any life decisions. She got a new deck she can't wait to play with. But any questions you may have for her, something in the future, should you take that new job, should you date that guy that we've all been talking about? Not your guy, but so if there's a question financially, should you move, should you buy that new car, is your life going to be in upheaval, anything but let's leave the election out, okay?
I was
Anything
going to say, wait, does it have to be like a personal question? Or can you say, what's going to happen?
No election. Let's stay away. Let's make this a fun night.
You can do a general for yourself, but to try to do for everybody makes it very hard.
Got it.
I did for I think it was going into 2018, I did predictions of what to expect for the year. And one thing that I got was there were six world leaders who would pass. Well, everyone took that as a president, but it isn't just the presidents. You have your dictators of state. You have prime ministers. You have other types of world leaders. And when we figured it out, literally within the 6 months that I said it, we had 6 that had passed.
Oh, wow.
With a total of 23 for the year. So it was interesting. It was fun.
Not for them.
Not for them.
Just kidding.
So again, in the comment section, because you're probably thinking, well, how are we supposed to ask her questions? We're not going to use the studio lines. Last time we had you guys here, everything went nuts. The phone lines weren't working.
People want to know.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We also have, let's see, Paula DiGiacobi. Hi, Paula. And then Molly Halliday. Hi, Molly. So if you guys have questions, put them in the comment section and we will get to you and she will flip a card out to you. It's a free of charge thing, okay?
Yes, no
So
thanks.
somebody send her a question. She's right now mixing up her cards, so there's no way just to pull a random card out by any means. It's going to be a card for you.
And Aaron just joined us.
Oh, Eric Lytle. Hello, Eric. Yep, Eric just joined us. So if there's something that you guys want to know, again, put it in the comments. So, you got any comments going on over there, little Miss Lady?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I could say hi to Aphrodite. I used to go to school with her.
Aphrodite. Hello. Oh, it's still, there we go. We're still going. Okay.
So I'll start with the first question. What is your favorite thing to do? for someone?
In regards to the readings?
Yeah.
Or?
What makes what I mean, people want to get something from you. They always want to get something from you, but what do you get out of it doing something for someone else? What's your favorite thing that makes you feel the best
Well,
about
for
what
me,
you
every
do?
time I do this, I always ask that I'm here to help people. So sometimes it takes being that kind of tough cookie with a little smack to make you do what you need to do for yourself, and sometimes it's being that cuddler. I've done shows, I love it, where I'll have a newbie sit down in front of me. They've never had a reading before, and they're all like, "Ooh." And it's like, don't worry, I don't bite. And then I always joke much, and every once in a while I get But it's to, see that they understand, that they make that connection. I've been doing this for well over 20 years. I've actually been doing it all my life, and we'll just say that's been a while. But it used to be, I've been on the fair circuit for over 15 years, and I would get upset because I would make people cry.
Aww.
And I just felt horrible. I'm like, I'm making this poor person cry, oh my God.
Truth hurts.
And then someone told me the one time, you don't understand, when you're crying, it's because you've made a connection. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then after that, not to say that it's like, it didn't bother me, because it still does a little bit, but it's like, now I'll be giving you a reading, you'll start crying, I'm just handing you a tissue, here you go, honey, there's a tissue, and then I just keep going. Because I know that this is what they need to hear, this is what's going on. And for me, it's just that moment of getting that confirmation to know that they need it. And it doesn't mean you have to always cry. I've had times people are sitting there and like, oh my God, that was so them. Or that's exactly what I needed to hear. I had one woman, I did a fair, I think it was 5 years ago in Conneaut. And I had a woman who came to me, it was the first time she'd ever had a reading. She was sitting down, and I started drawing cards, I gave her a reading, and I kept focusing in on her heart and stomach area, and I'm like, I realize I'm not a doctor, I said, but I'm getting impressed that there's something going on here, and you really need to go see your doctor. I'm just feeling this pressure that you need to go see your doctor. She goes, I just saw my doctor, I don't need to. I said, I'm just telling you,
That's me.
you really need to go see your doctor, just because of how important this feels to me. Please, just go see your doctor. Well, about a week later, she decided, oh, I'm just going to go see the doctor. Turns out she had heart issues that would not have shown up until it was too late.
Wow. So you
Wow.
could have saved her life.
The very next year, she came in, she was my very first reading, and she says, I paid for reading. She says, I don't really want one. She says, I just want to tell you that you saved my life. Because when they discovered what happened, literally, she went in for that appointment and was rushed to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
She was that bad, and there were no signs to know it. So that was very satisfying, very gratifying. I was just very happy. I cried on that one myself. So. And it doesn't mean that everyone's going to be like that. Sometimes it's as simple as, I know that your cat's here. I had a fair, I did a Jonas Night
We all like our pets, you know.
Fur babies. All my dead babies, yes.
So I see spirit too. So I'm setting up a John Ice Night Center, and I see this calico cat, and I'm like looking at this cat, and he's like wandering all around my table around, and I'm like, anybody else see this? Because a lot of the other readers will see too. And they're like, no. And this cat stayed with me all day, and I'm like, why are you here? So they would ring a bell, and person comes in. Every time they ring the bell, the cat would be looking, and get all upset. And they just sit there and he'd start stomping around. I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on. So finally, I think it was like 4 o'clock, the bell rang, and this woman comes around the corner, and that cat just perked right up. And I see this cat hop on top of my table, and he's just prancing and happy and all excited. And this woman sits in front of my table, and as soon as she does, the cat starts rubbing his chin, under her chin, stroking his tail around here. Which it's a cat in spirit, so she can't see it. I'm seeing this, and she's sitting there, she's doing this because she can't figure out what's going on. And I said, before we do anything, I just have to ask, did you just lose a cat recently? And she just looked at me like deer in the headlights, and I said it was a calico, and I start describing it, and it was male, and the attitude that he had. And she says, yes. I said, well, you're doing this. I said, he is rubbing his head. He's been waiting for you all day. And she just burst into tears. And what she told me was, I left the house this morning, and I was originally going to go to the fair, and then I said no. And then she said, I just wanted to know if he was okay. And And she said, I was driving past and something told me I just had to come in here. And as soon as I did, I saw your picture and I'm like, I just have to go to her. I don't know why I have to go to her.
Wow.
And she says, that's all I needed to hear. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Can you explain what kind of medium you are or psychic you are for those people who have never met you? Because I always found it interesting when mediums use cards. And you said you don't actually need the cards.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
I'm a medium clairvoyant, which is I pick up on spirit, and I tell people that I'm a full impact medium because I not only see spirit, I'm going to hear them like they're physically standing in my ear talking to me. I will get smells, I will get tastes, I can have physical touch. I've had times where someone has passed and I can tell you what they passed from because I physically feel it. And it's only just long enough so that there's a marker so that these people can say, yes, that was them. And then it goes. But I also use the cards. I started doing the cards. I taught myself the cards when I was 16 because a lot of people get weirded out when you're getting information and it's like, well, how do you know this? And I can't tell you how I know it because it just kind of comes in and goes out. I honestly, most of the time, if I give you a reading, I'm not going to remember pretty much what I told you 5 minutes later. I always tell people, if you're going to someone who's a reader and they can tell you verbatim what they said like a year ago, 3 years ago, that's because they're just giving you bullshit. It's not real. I have people that'll come up to me, they'll ask me something, I'm giving you your reading, I may walk out of the room, you're going to catch me 15 minutes later, and I may not remember anything I said to you. And that's because this was truly from spirit. This was truly from the angels, the guides, and everything, because I don't know it. The only time I really remember people's, I remember their reactions. And that's how I'll make a connection. So like the woman with the cat, because of that cat and because of, you know, her reaction, that's what I remember. But I can't remember anything else I told her in the reading. The cards I use because a lot of people would, they'd get really nervous because I hate to say it, but sometimes when I'm getting my messages, it looks like I'm boring a hole in your head, and I'm not. It's just because I'm off connecting. So it started out with, you know, I'll draw a card, and I can point to something in this card. So like this one, she's got on a purple dress, well, lavender. This is someone who would feel very comfortable with themselves. They're, in a sense, they have a very delicate personality. They're very friendly. They're very open. They kind of like glide through things. They don't let too much bother them. You know, I can point to this card and start explaining what I'm seeing with them. But the thing is, I can also draw this card for someone else, and maybe I'm seeing something up here. What do we have?
I was going to say that would not be me.
It looks like a cherub. So it could be someone who is opening to love or learning to love themselves. They may have, you know, passed someone in a, they're still attached to someone that they lost young in life. And this can be a friendship, this can be even an animal, a pet, but it's something that meant something very dear to them, but they're still open enough to allow someone else to come through. So it used to get to where I would just put the cards down and everything I'm getting is still mediumship. So it's still spirit talking to me to tell me what it is. Because when I look at a picture, for me it's like just a snapshot. I don't really see much after I'm looking at it. But I can use the card to confirm what I'm saying.
Paula wants to know, where is she located in order to get a reading?
Where is Paula located?
Where are you located?
Sorry.
Paula wants to know, where is she located?
So I do phone readings. I'm actually out of Akron. I'm in Goodyear Heights. I do phone readings also. And the only difference between a phone reading and an in-person is a phone reading. I am going to talk to you for at least 4 or 5 minutes to make sure I have a connection first. And then I will say, what is your question? And then I go from there.
how do you know if you have a connection?
Because as soon as I start talking, I ask them immediately, is this something you understand? Does this validate with you? I had one client, it was real funny. She called me, we had a scheduled phone reading, and she called me, and as we're talking, I'm like, you just redid your kitchen. She's like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, you painted it white. You got the little cast iron things. In fact, you did the one door to your left, bright red like a barn door. She's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, why am I seeing this so clearly? And all of a sudden, I remember her daughter, and I said, is your daughter there? She said, yeah. I said, could you put her on the phone for a moment? And she's like, yeah. And so she puts her daughter on the phone. I said, you just changed your kitchen? She goes, yeah. And I said, you just painted it white, and you did the door to the left, over by the pantry, bright red like a barn door. And she's like, yeah, I was over here to tell Mom about that. I'm like, well, now your mom knows. Can I have your mom back? And then I was able to do her mom's reading. But it was, a lot of times I will connect with something. Like, you're going to ask something, and I normally tell people when you're going to ask a question, please take a breath first to give it clarity and then talk. Because sometimes if you kind of surprise people, what's your question? They're like, I don't know, and all of a sudden I'm getting, oh yeah, you have to take the laundry out, the beeper just stopped, you need to get your oil changed. Did you remember to pick up the cat food? Because right now he's really hungry. Oh, by the way, the dog's got to go pee. I'm getting all this stuff too. That's not what I want. I'm trying to get more to the heart of your matter. So I do the phone readings. I do parties, so I can come to your place. I just ask that you kind of contact me and let me know ahead of time, because my schedule picks up really quickly. I also work out of a shop down in the valley at the Healing Brew, 1672 Merriman Road in Akron. Wonderful shop, and we do all sorts of, there's other readers there. We also do Reiki, Angel Ray, access bars, and a lot of other healing modalities. Plus, Brian Peters, one of the owners there, makes fabulous tea blends, and they have nice little dainties, as Stephanie calls them, delicious things to eat.
Now, if somebody here, like we said, and for those of these people that are just tuning in fact, we could do this on us as well. If you have a question to ask Ramona, when you put the question in there, say 1, 2, or 3.
Yes.
Okay, so pick deck number 1, 2, or 3. So go ahead if you want in the comments, send a message to Ramona, ask a question. We'll pull it up and we'll answer it. In fact, let's give an example as to what we're talking about. We can do it on me.
Okay.
Deck number 1.
Deck number 1. Okay, so that's going to be this one. And this is a tarot deck, and like I said, I'm an intuitive reader. So if you've ever had a standard tarot reading, I am not going to match that, other than, yes, death means change. Doesn't mean you're going to die. It just means change. But it's for me, again, it's what I get off the picture or what I'm feeling. So let's see what we're going to draw for you.
Oh, boy.
And how old were you? How old were you when you realized that you had a gift?
I was born with it.
No, I know, but at what point in your life as a child did you go, oh, I am a little different?
I will say I honestly didn't realize how different I was until I was in my teens, around 16, and that's because I got beat up for it. That's the first time I realized people didn't hear or see as I did. Now, my mom knew about it, but she would just tell people I had an active imagination, so I just didn't tell her anymore.
Yeah.
She didn't need to know.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, whatever. My first real memory of giving a reading or connecting was I was 4 years old, and I was in the kitchen with my mom. And I said, Mommy, do you remember the old kitchen? And she said, what old kitchen? And I described in detail a kitchen that she had, and the stove, and she was boiling a pot of water, and there was a cabinet above the stove, and she was reaching for a bowl in there. It was turquoise, had a white band with cherries. And when she reached for it, it slipped out of her hands. It hit the pot of macaroni. The macaroni went off to the side. The pot broke down into 6 pieces. And I totally stunned my mom with this. Again, I'm 4 years old. The reason I stunned her with it was I wasn't born yet. I was 6 months in utero. So I knew that. And when I was, my dad died before I was born. When I was 5, I had a really high fever. And I could feel my dad rubbing my hair, like pushing my hair back. And I was talking to him. My mom asked me, who are you talking to? And I said, the man who's here. My mom said, who? I said, he said his name's Joe. And I didn't know my dad or his name because, again, like I said, he died before I was born. And my mom said, what do you mean, Joe? And I described him to her in detail. And that's how she knew that it was my father. So she was like, oh. And everyone in my family, the women, like my mom had the gift too, but she was petrified of it. My grandmother had it, but she was very superstitious, so they didn't like to use it. I just pretty much didn't give a shit, and I just used it anyways. So let's see, for you,
So the card is?
the card is the Dreamer. And what I'm getting here is very much the little tiger at the end. You're ready to make leaps and bounds. You're ready to make changes, and you're starting to actually focus yourself where you want to go. For you, it's been very much a journey of reclaiming your strength, reclaiming who you are, what you want, and actually going for it. And this is also telling me that you're actually allowing yourself to do it now instead of waiting for someone to say it's okay to do it. You're like, screw that, I'm going. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
There you go.
Thank
Here's your
you.
card.
Now see, it's not so hard. You guys
Yes.
can ask her questions, you guys can put a number out there, and she will do a reading on you. So in the comments, put something down. Randy, you wanna try it?
Oh, sure.
1, 2, or 3?
2.
2, okay. So this is another fun deck. Just so you know, I have over 150 decks.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I like the pictures. That's, to me, it doesn't really matter what the deck looks like. I just like pictures. So this is the Shaman's Oracle. This is a deck I really love. I like the Native American feel and the pictures and the colors. Let's see. Okay, so this card says flow. And what I'm looking at in this one is more so the energy flowing from their hands with the moon behind it. So to me, what this means is you're finally moving yourself forward the way you need to. You've changed a lot of the rhythms that you've had, and it's like I'm finally to release, to let things go, and look forward to a new rhythm that I want to go to. Very much so, it's almost as though I'm finding a new job, a new purpose, a new goal for me. And I just have to remember, I always have that energy with me. It always flows through me, and it's always what I give out. Because you give a lot of energy to everybody else. You do a lot for them. It's almost as though you give of yourself completely to them without realizing that there's that flow within you. You're very much like a bank. If you do not do things for yourself, you become bankrupt.
I wish I had a bank.
So it's your reminder, start doing things for yourself,
Right.
whether that's saying no, whether that is I'm taking this time off and I'm going to go for a walk in the woods because that's what I want to do. You know, housework, who cares? It's going to come, the houses can stay messy all the time. It doesn't matter. Housework will always be there in one form or another. Do something for yourself. Read a book, take a walk. Take a drive. I get the feeling like you like being just moving and just changing the sceneries. Take a drive. Enjoy yourself. See somewhere new. There's lots of places you can go. Just allow yourself to do it. And you might be surprised on doing those journeys for yourself where you find connections and different people and different things to do. Okay? Does that work?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry. I was gross.
That's okay.
All right.
Who's next?
How about number 1?
Number 1. Dun, 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 dun.
Our survey said.
Oh, all right, well, you're getting 4.
Oh, boy.
So this one, there's many opportunities that are there for you. I see him staring at the door. There's many opportunities that are there for you, but you sometimes don't see them because you're so focused on one thing in front of you. And you have to remember there's a broader scope to things than what you're looking at. So learn to kind of step back and view everything before actually focusing and choosing. Because if you're so focused on this one minute, you're going to miss other opportunities that are there. Oh, I like this. I keep focusing on the light on her. This is the storyteller, and the storyteller is one that she reminds us of the stories that we tell ourselves. You have a lot of energy. You're a very vibrant person. You're a very energetic person. You have to remember to kind of, fill that flow again to make that spark and energy fly. So don't get yourself so mentally entrenched in things that you kind of drain yourself. You're best also, though, when you're movement. You have to constantly be moving. You don't do very well if you're not moving. So for you as a type of like meditation, do yoga, do tai chi, do qigong, something that requires movement with you. I think you'll find that you actually relax and focus better.
That makes sense.
Forest scrolls. And what's interesting is I'm getting her little wing here. And this is one of telling me that there are times when it's very much a struggle for you to look forward to kind of getting yourself out, because sometimes you'll be very emotionally almost depressed, detached. It's like you drain yourself. And you got to keep remembering there's that hope, there's that good things are coming. And the thing is, you have to remember when you start reaching that point of I'm feeling that desperation or that loss, there's always good things coming. And it's attached to her back, so that means that it's always here with me. So instead, change the focus of this is where I am, but this is where I'm going, and it's going to be much better. And then your last one, we have Pegasus.
Midnight.
And this is the Two of Scrolls, and what I get for him is I very much am seeing the purple wings. So I would say you're very intuitive, even if you don't realize it. You have a lot of energy. You have a lot of spiritual connection. I would almost say that you are very much like your grandmother, more so than your mom. And your grandmother was a very, almost I want to say devout, faithful person. She had her own sense of faith, her own sense of belief, and it served her perfectly. And you are very much like that too. I don't need to have a set religious structure. I know what is true to me. I know what is my faith, and I know what will guide me. And they're saying that you're very much like that. You have jewelry of your grandmother's?
Not my mother's mother, no.
Because she shows me like a little necklace.
This is my mom's.
Okay.
But no, this I don't have anything of my grandmother. My
Dad's stepmom.
No. The only other thing I have is my step grandma's wedding ring. But she wasn't my mother's.
I want to say it's more this, because they're showing me the necklace, that this means very much a lot to you. You panic if I can't find this. It's
Well, this is the only thing, like I said, I don't have anything of my grandmother's. And this is the only thing that I have, that I use of my mom's. And I always know where it's at.
Well, it's because, and it's not with your grandmother on that part. I'm still getting the faith part, but this is very much, this means a lot to me. And even though you know where it's at, if something, it's almost like there's times it doesn't feel like it's there, and you immediately do this. I have to know that it's here. And they're saying that this is very much for you. It's that sign of love. It's the sign of connection for you. It is also a reminder of the faith that I have the ability to do what I need to do and to create and go on with it. You are a very strong woman, but you sometimes forget that strength doesn't mean I have to do it all by myself.
That's so cute.
Shush, Mom!
If somebody asks a question like online, like right now, and they want to know what people you see around them, even though you're not looking at them, are you able to kind of?
It helps if I can either see like a snapshot of them, like like if they're on Facebook, if I can see them in a feed and look at their profile pic, sometimes that helps.
Okay. Hold on.
Here's this girl.
Lovely. Retta.
Yes.
So for Retta, I very much get that she has a male figure around her. I almost want to say more so like an uncle than a father figure, because he doesn't feel like he's direct in the family, but it feels like he was very important to her when he was when she was younger, because I feel like he may have passed maybe when she was in her 20s or 30s. It feels like he had an energy and a strength, and it's like no matter what was happening, he always found that way to talk to her, to make her realize that it's going to be okay. And I don't feel like he had a very, I'll say, easy life. It feels like he really struggled, but he was one that he put his best foot forward. It's like, I'm just going to do this. And it's like he would remind her, this is what you need to do. I also get for her very much so that she has, and I want to say a great grandmother in spirit around her, that she has her sense of, I'll just say, stubbornness. Not really, not really like I'm digging my heels in. No, I'm not gonna do this. But she'd be like a bull in a china shop if there's something she really wanted. Like she's gonna push forward, and if I know it's the best for you, I'm pushing you right along with it. It feels like for Redeval, she can be, when she wants something for herself, she tends to be more soft-spoken. But she has to understand she comes from strong stock, and this is very much you push yourself forward and you demand what you want, and you're going to get it. Basically, get the hell out of my way because I'm going to get it no matter what. So I don't know.
Do you see women around her at all? That's what she asked. Any women?
that was the great grandmother that I had. That she's very much like, and I don't think she really knew her very well. And I don't know if there's someone that she can speak to verify her great grandmother, but it's very much, I get that her great grandmother was one, like I said, that she was very determined, very focused. If she wanted it, come hell or high water, I'm getting it. And just in a way that Retta actually has that ability, but I get that she tends to be a little more soft-spoken about it, and almost like she's afraid to ask, and she has every right to ask, to demand it, because she's more than worth it. She's a very strong, caring person. She works very hard. So just to know that she's around you, I almost pick up like a light scent, like a daisy, a lilac or something with her. And I get more so that's because that's what grew around the house, not what she wore. So she would know that.
But I wasn't with her when she was a child.
This is true. This is true. In that defense.
Because I get very much that she would know it because she's going to smell that, just that hint. And it's like a puff of smoke. It's just real light, and it just goes.
It's my mom you're talking about. She's the one that asked the question. That's why I'm texting with her. I'm like, are you listening?
She's listening. I got her over here.
Doesn't make sense to her.
It does make sense to her. Yes,
Okay,
it does.
yay.
Thank you.
All right, Shelley,
Shelley,
it's
your
your
turn.
turn.
Ooh, what deck do you want? 1, 2, or 3?
Let's go 3.
Okie dokie. This is one of my newest decks. I absolutely love it. It's by an artist in the UK. It's called the Woven Wisdom Oracle deck. And the artist is Steve Samsara. You can follow him on Facebook. And I think he's selling these are like 28 in the US. But it's a beautiful deck. He hand designed all of it. So it's cool. Let's see, what do we get for you?
Do you have anybody asking questions on your side?
No, they're all connected together.
Yeah, that's
No? Okay, fine. Went to grab it and like, no.
My mom said I wanted deck 3. We forgot to ask her what deck she
Oh,
wanted.
okay, we'll come back to you.
Sorry.
So, the card I got for you is Lilith. And Lilith in the goddess hierarchy is one that she is considered a goddess of the underworld, but she is one that very much, if you're looking at her, she is very focused, she's very determined, and I will get what I want. So this is pretty much, there's things that you're wanting to change. It doesn't matter if it, I will say, doesn't meet the norm. This is what I want, and I'm going to get it.
Okay.
And you're one that, if someone, I will say, if it feels right to you and someone's trying to divert you, you're very much state your case and tell them to keep walking because I'm moving.
Oh, that's Shelley.
And well, you have a lot with the goddess of the
gosh,
underworld. Because your next card is Hecate, who is also the goddess of the underworld. She's the protector and the guardian of the crossroads. And Hecate is very much about going deep within in our feminine divine. She is very much about announcing who we are, deciding what we want, and putting it out there, no holds bar. where Lilith is more into the face of the public and authority. Hecate is more into the demanding of self, what it is I want for myself, where I'm going to put myself, and to know that I am truly protected, and definitely you're not one to cross me. Because if you cross me, you're not going to like it. Does that make sense?
It does.
See, here's what I have people texting me questions. I'm like, get on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something?
She had deck number 3 for your mom.
I was going to do deck number 3
Oh,
real
go
quick
ahead,
for
yeah.
Retta.
Oh yeah, Retta. Okay, Retta said she wanted 3. I'm sorry. We
That's
forgot
okay.
To, she even forgot to say it when it was her question.
So deck number 3, Retta, this is for you.
Retta has the asking, which is a cute little nymph. And it's to remind you, number 1, don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Again, you sometimes couch what you want because you don't believe it'll be approved or how people's perception will be. Mm-hmm. This is pretty much where you say, screw you, this is what I want. I'm asking for it. Ask the universe, ask God, ask the spirits, ask angels, whoever you want. Demand it, ask it. This is mine. I deserve it. I'm going to get it.
Put it out in the universe.
Yep, put it out there. The thing is, if you don't ask, you're not going to get it.
Right.
You know, even if you were a kid, you wanted that cookie. You didn't ask for the cookie. You sure as hell didn't get it.
You took it.
Yeah, really.
Well, you took it and made sure you weren't going to get caught. But, you know, even like I tell people all the time, God, Spirit, the angels, basically the universe, they can't help you if you don't ask because they need a direction. They work on a higher vibration than we do. So ask. Ask and say, hey, this is what I want.
She's showing the election results right now. That's why I'm like, wow. She slid it over to me. I said, we're not allowed to ask. I have questions. People text me saying, who's going to win the election? And I said, we're not allowed to ask.
And
so I can't say, we can't say, because I don't think anyone knows at this point.
don't forget in asking.
I know Ohio. Wow. Ohio's blue. That shocks me because Ohio was red last time. And I almost burned Ohio down.
Right.
Go on.
Don't forget, in the asking, we tend to be humans, so we always see things like this, not realizing there's a whole world. So whatever you're asking for, ask for this or higher and better. So now you've opened up that whole frame that maybe I don't see this at first because I'm so focused, I think I want this. It's just like you're saying, oh, I need a new car, I need a new car. Well, I could get you a car, but maybe it doesn't have everything you really need, or maybe it doesn't really suit you. Where instead, you know, you're saying, I need a new car, and boom, suddenly I get something that's way better.
That does happen a lot. Don't you notice that where you kind of, not to sound like hokey, but you almost manifest it without even trying. You think, oh, I really want to do this, or I really want what it is, and then boom. And then you're like, wow, if it was only that easy.
But the thing is, it is a lot, it's easier than we realize. And I always tell people when you're asking for things, especially when it comes in terms of finances, you always ask for this or higher and better in the highest and best way possible. The reason for that being is you just said you want $1 million. Well, your favorite aunt could kick the bucket. There's your $1 million in inheritance.
My favorite aunt did kick the bucket and she didn't have no money.
Yeah, but
Bless her heart, I loved her.
that's not the way you want to get it.
I understand.
Or you could have an accident.
Right,
You know, that's
right,
not
right.
the way you want to get it.
No, I
So
know.
it's,
Don't want to rob a bank or anything.
I normally say, you know, all that is required and all that I need, that it comes to me in all ways.
Now I have a quick question real quick. When you did my reading with deck 2, you pulled out a card and gave me a reading. And then when you did her, she had like 3 or 4 cards. What's the difference? Like, what makes you pull 1 card as opposed to 3 or 4? I'm just curious.
They jumped out.
Well,
Or yes.
literally they jumped out, and with her, when I
Mine
went,
stuck together at first. I remember that when before. We
yeah,
got on
when
the
I
air,
went
but
to
mean, I
pull
was
it,
just curious,
hers
just out of
were all
curiosity.
stuck together, and I didn't even realize they were all stuck
So
together.
that's how you know to use all this. Okay. I was just curious. I wasn't
Yeah,
upset
'cause
that I only got 1 card. I was just like,
They'll
wondering
literally
who
grab
did
onto
it.
each other going, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
We have to go together.
Okay. So Shelley, reading. Do it. We all did ours. You do yours.
She
I
just
did
did.
Oh, you did?
She had
Yeah.
Lilith and Hecate.
Yeah, I
Do
had
you
the
see, okay,
underworld
so then I'm
goddesses.
really intrigued by people who can see spirits or see, like you said, you saw the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody that you look at, do you see something or no?
Not all the time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's when I'm in the middle of the reading, I will physically get an image. It used to be when I was doing it, it's like a person would glow. It's
An
the best
aura.
way I can describe it. Yeah,
So
they'd
you
have
knew
like
that.
this aura.
Okay.
So I knew that's who
Interesting.
I'm going to. And then like above their head, it looked like there was a movie playing. So that's how I knew what to give the message for them. To where now it's just like, I just sit there and I'm like, okay, Spirit, don't make me look like an idiot.
Right.
But
right.
it's like as soon as they sit down, it's like it just starts coming. And normally when I give readings, I tell people if you want to record it. Because sometimes when I get going fast.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not really going to remember what I said.
And you won't either. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I would want to. I had a psychic when I used to go see her years ago, and I would have it all on tape because I would re-listen to it and I would forget certain parts just to see if she was on par or if she, you know.
And you have sometimes where, I hate to say it, but if I'm giving you that reading and I'm giving a message and it's just flowing through me, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't know. You said back there, all of a sudden it's like you stop that flow. The other thing I tell people normally when I'm giving you a reading, do not cross your arms or legs. That blocks the energy.
Let's try that again then.
How do you tell? What do you tell someone who wants to open up more of their energy or open up the third eye, for lack of a better term, and kind of get more of an insight into their own stuff? Do you know what I'm saying? Or be able to do what you do. I know it's a gift, but can't we all do it if we all use our
Well, we
brains
all
right?
have intuition.
Right.
The biggest thing is learning not to fear it. We were taught to fear it. You know, think about it. How many times have you sat there and you're like suddenly feeling like, oh, I need to turn right instead of left. I don't know why, I'm just going to go do this. You could have avoided an accident or something, and maybe you don't know right away and you'll find out later. We do this, and the thing is, most of us don't listen to it. Or we're very scientific. We want to quantitate and weigh it. Like if I can't physically see it, it's obviously not real. And my answer to that is what I always tell people who tell me that what I do isn't real. It's like, do you breathe? Well, of course I breathe. Do you see air? You don't see air. We'll be like, well, the wind. No, the wind
Right.
is the action of the air. Do you physically see air? No, but it's around you.
Lori wants to say hi to her mom.
Hi, Lori.
No, Lori is, she joined us, she's watching, and I want to try to show you her picture. She wants to say hi to her mom. Molly, if I could pull her picture up, has a question about
Well,
her
if you wouldn't
son.
mind, my mom, I've been waiting for a time for my
I'm
mom.
so sorry, go.
That's okay. So my mom has a question.
Okay.
Her brother passed away a year ago today, and she wants to pick deck 1, and she wanted to know if you are able to tell if he's at peace. Or just, I guess, anything.
So, and I don't know why he's showing it to me as importance, but it's like he sits at the end of the bed and watches her.
Her brother.
Yeah, I feel like they were very close. He very much wants to know that she's okay. He's like, I'm done, I'm fine. But he wants to know that she's okay because she still worries too much about everything. And it's like, the best way I can put it, it's like in losing him, it's like someone cut my arm off. I feel very
Attached.
Yeah, very attached, very bereft though, because I'm missing quite a lot. I get that he was very much kind of like the confidant, the protector with her. And he was, I get like he was more of a quietish person. He would, I'm not going to waste my words is the way I'm getting it. Like I may think, and people make the mistake to think that, you know, I'm not very smart or something because I'm really quiet. But then when I say something, you're going to know it because it just hits you. So the way he's putting it to me is, I'm very much with you. I know that things have been a little rough for you. I feel like she still cries a lot for him, and he's like, just let her know that I'm okay. I'm still here. I'm as close to you as I always was. I literally get every night he sits at the end of the bed and he watches her because he's still the protector. And then it's like he'll follow her through the house. Does she sit more in the kitchen and talk to him, or?
I don't know.
Because I get more and more that it's like, if they just had a routine, even if it was just on the phone and I'm sitting here with my coffee, it's like this was my connection space, and this is what I'm missing. So if it's like I'm on the phone and I'm talking to you, so now I set my phone on and just it sits there. It's not as, it doesn't feel as good to me. But I feel very much, yes, he's fine, he's at peace. Okay, and I had to laugh because you're like, well, that was not exactly how I planned. That was one hell of a ride, but it feels like very much he is around her a lot. And the card that I get for her is Two of Spirals, which very much fits her because it's very much my home. It's my connection. And you'll notice both nests are empty. And it feels very much like there's a loss for her because even though he didn't live with her, he was so close to her. Like, I'm here with you all the time. And of course, you don't live there, so you're separated. And she's like, I'm kind of stuck here by myself. But very much there's a lot of love. She has a lot of energy around her. And what I'm getting is just make the spaces for yourself. You nurtured, you made a very good home for everyone. You always gave them the love that they needed. You always gave them the support that they needed. Start doing it for you. Okay?
Yes.
Does that make
Thank you.
sense?
Yes.
I apologize. This is a picture of Molly. She was asking about.
Hi, Molly.
She has 2 sons. She was asking about her son, her younger son.
Okay, so, and I have to ask because I'm picking up on someone who's like college age.
Ish,
Yeah, maybe 23-ish, 18-ish,
a little older.
Look.
20.
28-ish.
He is. He graduated. He was 18 in 08, so he would be older. Like, he'd probably be close. He's in his 30s, I believe.
I'd say he's in his 30s, but he
Oh,
has...
sorry, he was born in 1990. Does that help? I'm looking at my face. He was born in 1990.
30.
So he's 30, yeah.
Okay.
So you were, I mean, college age.
He
is
may
pretty
be
close.
30, but I'm getting very much that he's still like a young kid. He very much
of
has a playful sense of
Yes,
humor.
absolutely.
He's
That
got
is very true.
a big sense of just, he loves to laugh. He's kind of the jokester. But I get like this past year and a half has been kind of like a rough start for him. It's like things are, I just feel like I got kicked out of where I was going. My routine's all bad. I don't know if he lost a job or something, but it's like I'm trying to get this flow back, and I'm trying to get this flow back. So he does not live in state, or he does?
He does not. Oh,
Okay.
how about that, Molly? You got that right.
So, and I don't know why I keep hearing Boston with him, and I don't know what it is that he does. But
He's close. He lives in New York City. Pretty close to Boston-ish, you know, but I mean, like, you know, Boston, New York, you know what I mean?
no, I'm
That's what it
actually
is.
physically hearing Boston, so I'm gonna say take a look up at Boston. I feel like
will.
he's gonna find a
Like,
better.
She's listening, so.
I think that he's gonna find something better for him there. I think part of New York he likes, but I think he's starting to get tired of just it's like it's a constant energy, and he just kind of needs to backstep a little bit. When he was younger, yeah, that constant energy suited him very, very well, but now it's almost grating to a point, and it feels like it's just more hassle than anything. They keep telling me Boston. I would look at Boston because I definitely feel like while the weather is going to be cooler, I just feel like there's more opportunities there for him. Is he single, or is he like dating but it's not real serious?
No, he lives with his fiance.
Then I would say that for both of them, it would be much better to move.
What do you see about his health?
Again, move, get out of where he's at. I almost feel like where he's at is just because of the constant worry stuff. It exasperates everything. And he needs to very much kind of focus more on doing for him. I don't know why I'm getting with him. A lot of it can be dietary. I'm getting like, I keep tasting salt, so I'm going to say he has to watch his salt intake.
Okay.
And the thing is, when he's not, it's aggravating heart or something, but I want to say that's more genetics than his physicality. It's just more like it's a family thing. So you gotta kind of watch it so that you're not setting yourself up for failure. Even with his fiance, I keep hearing move. But for some reason, I don't know why she feels very closed and quiet.
Interesting. I actually am not sure, like, of their health or anything like that. I don't know of any genetics. I know Molly, she's my friend, but I don't know, you know what I mean, like his health. So I'm interested to see if she says yes, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, because I don't know why I keep getting something with salt and heart.
Okay. I did.
I had one thing from Molly.
Yeah, Molly, go. Keep going. Yes.
The one card that I chose was Many Paths.
Many paths. Okay.
And the thing that I get with it is for her and her son, they both have such a wide range of things that they need to do. For her son, it's definitely all about moving forward, moving up, and moving out.
Okay.
For her, it's very much about changing the path, redirecting, and coming back home. Because there's things that she's been doing. I want to say if she's looking to get a new home, because that's part of what it feels like to me. Like I'm just trying to find my fit, my home. Definitely start looking now. It feels like within 2 years she's going to find a better place. And it's more so that it's, I want to say a comfort for her, because don't forget, don't set your home for your children, because children will move all the time.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
There's these things called airlines and cars. They can get to you. Buses if they have to. Make it your home. And you can think of it this way. If it's a really good home, it now becomes a vacation destination for everybody.
There you go.
Including yourself, okay?
This is Lori. She said deck 2.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Everybody say hi, Lori.
Best
Lori
friend,
said
Lori
she's
Quigley.
listening to us and watching the election.
Yay.
So Lori was the one that said she wants to say hi to her mom, but
I do
don't know.
too.
I guess yeah.
I knew Tiki.
Aww.
Yep. Hi, Tiki.
So she said, yeah.
Okay, so deck 2.
Lori Quigley, barber. Love her. Love her. I'll wait till you're done.
She's got a lot of
Lori's
energy
great.
for her.
Oh, yes, she does.
I have to say that she's like the constant go-getter is what I'm getting. And she always has to have something going. I don't do well with downtime. I have to keep things moving. But she's also very much of her heart. Like she will give to you. Just if you need it, she's going to give it. She's going to find a way for you to get it. But in that token, she's also not, I'll say, willfully reckless with it. If I know that giving this to you will not suit you, you ain't getting it. I'll be that nice shoulder you can, cry on, that you can talk to. I will try to lead you elsewhere, but I'm not going to give you something that I think is going to harm you or be put in your way, and I'm not giving you the easy road out either. I work for it, you can work for it too. Is she the one that likes to do parties?
Lori?
Yeah. It's like she likes to decorate,
Well,
she likes to be the
know Lori.
hub, the,
Yeah.
the
If Lori has
beehive.
parties, I haven't been invited.
Well,
Lori.
no, she may not have parties with friends, but they're always having. They have a huge family.
They have a huge family, but she, like for example, her daughter couldn't go to prom because of COVID, so they had a prom at home for her. I mean,
Okay.
Lori's
Yeah.
amazing.
Because that's what I'm getting is it's like she's always the one who's getting
She's
things
just
moving.
fabulous.
And they do have their family parties are epic.
Yeah.
You know, so
I hope you're still
We
listening.
have
Lori.
not been invited to any of these.
I
Mary.
know.
No, we need invited to these
That's
parties.
what I said. I'm like, Lori. Okay, so I'm okay. Lori commented, hi.
So for Lori, I've got the Hunter. And for me, what I'm getting with this for you is it's one that you are always scoping out the deal. You're always looking for everything. You're very focused on what you want, very focused on where it's going. Just like a hunter who tracks his prey, you're very much on, I'm going to find and make sure everything's in order the way it needs to be before everything actually happens. And it better happen the way I want or there's going to be hell to pay because I've planned, so don't you ruin my plans. And let's see, if for some reason I want to draw another one for her.
For Lori?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you going? Fine, back down. Ta-da. Ooh. The Time Master, which would very much explain you are very, I'll say, time oriented, but it isn't just that, is you plan and plan and plan. You focus all the way out. And in doing that, it also reminds me to tell you, take the time for yourself, because best laid plans will always get changed. Hello, welcome COVID. That changed a lot of things. but also if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to find yourself being left behind on important things that you want.
Like me.
So set that time for yourself,
Invite to a party.
honor yourself. Just besides, you already enjoy yourself, but you know, do things for you too. Have a little quiet day every once in a while, just for you. If you want to, make it a spa day for the girls or something. Okay?
Lori quickly is one thing, but not quiet.
But you know what? She has such an energy that emanates from her. And I mean this, she is so positive, and she has been through a lot, seen a lot, her children have been through a lot. And yet she's still so, I mean, she's one of those people that, and not in an annoying way, like just effervesces, like, oh, it's okay, we're all good, everything's good, and you just want to be around her. That's
A good
how I feel.
vibe.
Yeah.
Her tribe is
She's
good.
very, very, very positive all the time, without even like trying to be.
But she
Which
still
I think
needs
is
to
amazing.
remember to kind of relax for herself every
Right.
once in a while.
Is there any more that we have? This has been such a quick hour.
I know.
I know.
We don't
need
have
to
any
come
more.
back.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody loves to see.
Yeah.
Our microphone stayed on. Our signal stayed on. I'm so
Yippee! I didn't
happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
if anyone wants to contact
I
me,
was just gonna say that.
you can text me. Text is best. Don't call because I get so many calls, and of course those stupid robocalls, and I just ignore them. Text me at 330-328-2629.
Let's do that again.
330.
330
330.
328
328.
Are you doing it?
2629.
I wrote it down too, so we can put it on our Facebook pages ourselves.
Ramona.
I'm actually also on Google. If you Google my business, which is Heart Song Journeys, plural
Heart
journeys.
Song.
One word, heart song.
No, Heart Song and then Journeys.
Okay.
So,
You can actually book an appointment or leave a question, and I can get back to you. Supposedly, Google will notify me by email immediately, so we'll see
You
that.
never know, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could type good.
Yeah, me too.
Because Heart Dong Journeys does not
Heart
work.
dong.
Heart Dong.
I love autocorrect.
And also,
that
you
word that
can
makes it up.
contact me through the Healing Brew. So if you go onto Facebook, you look up the Healing Brew LLC.
Okay. The healing
Brew.
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 I
I
got it.
just saw that.
Probably on my posts. I do them a lot.
Okay, maybe so.
You can always call to schedule an appointment through them for me. Or you can also come down and check out the shop and schedule an appointment with anyone who's there. If you want more of like a traditional with also an intuitive tarot reading, Alexandra Ray, who's there, I believe she's on Thursdays. She's very good, very spot on also. Stephanie does really great readings. Michael does angel readings. Brian does tea leaf readings
got a
and
tea leaf.
herbal card readings. So we all have our little different specialties, and it's a great place to hang out. We all have fun.
We should put a big tent out and put you underneath it and have people come and see you.
People always are curious
be
about
fun.
psychics, whether they believe or not. They just want to see.
They just
Yeah.
wanna see.
You know,
I
whether
did
they
a-
believe in it or not, or whether they think you're full of it or not. They want to see if you hit on something that is
Relatable.
pertinent to them that no one
Yeah.
else would, you know. And you've done that several times here. I think today, especially with me, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, I tried to keep my poker face, but I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my
This is
gosh.
Gaga.
Oh my gosh.
It's for me. It's a lot of fun. I mean, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it because I figured this life is too damn short not to have fun. So
Right.
Yeah.
if it's not fun, I'm not gonna do it. Like I said, I do it to help people. I want to, I still want to enjoy it. I want them to enjoy it. That doesn't mean that occasionally I don't have to give, a little slap to put you in line, because sometimes, Spirit's going to come through or Dad's going to come through, go and get off of your ass. Let's get going. You've done it long enough. Time to move. And I'm going to be the one who's going to tell you that.
Well, it was so great to have you on
Yes,
here.
thank
Ramona.
you so
Glad
much.
you were
Yeah,
back
thank
on the
you.
show again, because you're
Yes.
just amazing, and I think people were they didn't know what to expect to have you on the show. So now that you guys know, we're gonna have to get her back out here.
I had
Absolutely.
people texting me
Definitely.
questions. They were afraid to ask online, and I'm like, just ask.
Yeah.
You know what?
just
Maybe we
ask.
can have a little bit of a notice and be able to post that she's going to be on. And if people want to send us questions, then we'll have them ahead of time.
Okay. You can also, I do a podcast. It's more meditations, but if you go on to Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and I forget who else, it's called Energetic Paths of the Soul.
Okay. Energetic Paths of the Soul.
Yeah.
Energetic.
And it is more if you want to do meditations, because every month at the shop I do the full moon meditation. And I give you a walkthrough meditation and a little kit so that you can take that home. But then I also give you a journey work meditation there when you're there. And so what I record on my podcast is that journey work meditation. So you can still take part even if you're not with us.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you, Ramona. It was a pleasure.
I had fun.
Yes, it was.
Enjoyed
Yes.
tonight's show. I loved it. I love when I have you guys on anyway. So thank you again for tuning in to Pass the Glass.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you Thursday.
Genesis Thursday. Bye-bye.
This Thursday.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. If you like our programming, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, or subscribe to your favorite podcast platform like iTunes or Spotify. This is original Youngstown content, and we would appreciate you sharing the videos and the word about us. Thank you.